What's up, Taiwan? I'm Rik Glauert with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan and India have signed an agreement that will bring Indian migrant workers to Taiwan. Taiwan's Labour Ministry says the government will decide how many Indian workers to invite. There was controversy last year over rumours that 100,000 Indian workers would come to Taiwan. The agreement could boost the amount of much-needed foreign labour in Taiwan, where the local workforce is ageing. It also aims to strengthen economic ties between Taipei and New Delhi. Taiwan's manufacturing industry is seeing a recovery as furloughed workers return to the workplace. A Labour Ministry report shows that of the over 1,600 people on mandatory paid leave returning to work, 92% are employed in manufacturing. The industry accounts for around 35% of Taiwan's GDP, with chipmaker TSMC dominating the sector. The Labour Ministry says the rebound is due to increased orders in the manufacturing industry. People in southern Pakistan are protesting alleged vote rigging in this month's elections. Supporters of a regional political alliance that lost blocked a highway in Sindh province. Protesters also blocked highways in the neighbouring province of Balochistan the day before. The demonstrators say last week's elections were rigged against independent candidates backed by the jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan. Election authorities reject those claims. Russian opposition leader Alexey Navalny has died in a prison inside the Arctic Circle, and Western leaders are pointing the blame firmly at the country's authoritarian president Vladimir Putin. With Putin all but certain to win an unprecedented fifth term in office next month, I take a look at Navalny's death and what his legacy may be. This could be the last footage of Russia's most outspoken opposition leader, Alexey Navalny, alive. From a prison in Russia's Arctic Circle where he was serving a 3-decade sentence, Navalny jokes with the courtroom via a video link. Within a day, the country's prison service announced that the 47-year-old had died, that he felt unwell after taking a walk and fell unconscious. Hours later, Navalny's wife said it was hard to verify her husband's death since Russian leader Vladimir Putin is known for hiding the truth.
Но если это правда, я хочу, чтобы Путин, все его окружение, путинские друзья, его правительство знали, что они понесут за то, что они сделали с нашей страной, с моей семьей и с моим мужем ответственность. И этот день наступит очень скоро.
Navalny was Putin's most formidable opponent in Russia. The former lawyer and nationalist politician rose to prominence a decade ago for speaking out against corruption among Russia's ruling elite and galvanized opposition against Putin. To some, his death comes as little surprise. In 2020, Navalny was hospitalized after a suspected poisoning with the nerve agent Novichok.
Когда человека полномерно палят, даже если смерть сейчас, это естественная причина. Естественная причина возникла от того, что от происходящего в течение, от отравлений и вперед.
Человек, который творит мне принесили, что собственно это ставит. Мошенник.
As news of the Kremlin critic's death spread, people gathering to mourn in St. Petersburg and Moscow were detained by Russian police. Navalny offered hope for an alternative to Putin's increasingly authoritarian rule. His death emboldens the long-serving leader ahead of elections next month.
Navalny's death will be an object lesson to anybody that was thinking of standing against Putin genuinely and actually being a realistic challenger to Putin as opposed to part of the so-called systemic opposition, the managed opposition within Russia. There will be lessons to learn from that, and of course it will have a chilling effect on any kind of political opposition to the central authorities.
Navalny is just the latest in a string of high-profile deaths of people that have challenged Putin's rule, and another sign of the strength of his grip on power. Japan has conducted a second test launch of its flagship H3 rocket. The launch comes 1 year after a failed first attempt, which the space agency blamed on engine ignition trouble. The rocket is set to fly for around 2 hours and will release 2 microsatellites. Japan recently completed a moon landing with its SLIM spacecraft. If the current mission is a success, it would further boost Japan's space credentials. Former US President Donald Trump has been fined more than $350 million in his civil fraud trial. Trump has also been banned from doing business in New York for 3 years. A separate trial found the former president liable of inflating the value of his assets to get better terms on bank loans. Trump has denied all wrongdoing and is likely to appeal the verdict. A Taekwondo coach has been sentenced to nearly 30 years in prison for sexually abusing his students. The man, surnamed Liu, was found guilty of assaulting 11 elementary and junior high school students in his classes over 100 times between 2019 and 2022. The new Taipei District Court says Liu first denied his actions, later showing little remorse and even trying to rationalize them. A travel agency in Taiwan has been ordered to suspend its operations for 3 months. That's after financial issues at the company disrupted the travel of nearly 300 people on its tours to Vietnam. Taiwan's Tourism Administration found that the agency We Love Tour is more than $300,000 in debt. That debt includes money it owes to partners in destination countries. This led to people who'd signed up for trips to Vietnam in February having their schedules changed or cancelled. They will now be able to claim compensation or have their trips transferred to another travel agency. South Korea will soon become a super-aged society alongside Taiwan and Japan. Bryn Thomas looks at how a group of grannies is wrapping some youthful energy back into the country's rural areas.
The G in this unit stands for Granny. Sunni and the Seven Princesses are an octogenarian rap group from the mean streets of Chilgok, South Korea.
입으면 좋지. 그래 좀 젊어지는 거 없고 그자 늙었긴 늙어도 마음이 즐겁고 좋아 그래.
And bling isn't the only affectation the group shares with mainstream hip-hop. Like many rappers, the Princesses' work forces audiences to confront some of the social issues affecting their society. In particular, South Korea's aging population and the emptying out of its rural communities.
요즘은 너무 파이다야. 그때 하면 그때 진짜 사람 사는 거 냈는데 요새는 파이다. 여기 와도 사람 없는데 뭐 인지 해관이 있다 민년 안 가면 비요. 우리 없으면 후시에 들어올 사람이 없는데 뭐.
South Korea is set to join the list of super-aged societies alongside Taiwan and Japan early next year, when a fifth of its population will be aged 65 and above. The effects of a demographic shift are felt hard in places like Chilgok County. Like many of the country's rural areas, most young people have left, seeking opportunities in big cities, and fewer of them are having children. As such, the Princesses' lyrics focus on the humdrum daily lives of those left behind in the country's increasingly vacant villages.
고추밭에 고추 따고 오이밭에 오이 따고 가지밭에 가지 따고 호박밭에 호박 따고 수박밭에 수박 따고 집에 오니까 너무너무 행복해요.
요즘 내 빼가지고 신나지 뭐. 우리끼리 모여가지고 해가는 가가지고 치매도 없어졌어. 건강해지기도 했고 여 돈으로 저 돈으로 바쁘기도 바쁘고 엄청 우리 잘 지내고 있어요.
And while the Princesses remain a ways away from living large and driving exotic cars, they have found a big audience on social media and do events around the country.
원래 SNS 이런 데는 되게 유명한 사람들이 이렇게 나오는 줄 알았는데 거기 저희 할머니가 나오더라고요. 그래서 친구들이 막 보내면서 너네 할머니 아니냐면서 막 이런 식으로 얘기해가지고 되게 좀 감회가 새롭기도 하고 칠곡군에서 지금 제일 유명한 것 같거든요.
Like several other countries in the region, South Korea is having to come to terms with the challenges of an aging population. But for Sunni and the Seven Princesses, to paraphrase another rapper, they got 99 problems, but old age ain't one. Alex Chen and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Plastic pollution is a pressing environmental issue, and a small team in Cambodia is transforming the waste into a sustainable tool. Our reporter Sandy Chi explains.
At a small warehouse in Cambodia's capital, Phnom Penh, workers are turning these plastic bottles into the bristles of broomsticks. The business is the brainchild of 41-year-old entrepreneur Haskia. Since March last year, Haskia's workers have transformed over 40 metric tons of discarded plastic bottles, producing around 500 brooms each day. Phnom Penh, a city of around 3 million people, produces up to 38,000 metric tons of trash each day, according to government figures. Around 1/5 of that waste is plastic, including bags, straws and bottles. Inspired by the concept of upcycling, Haskia and his team are turning some of that waste into something useful and even durable. Their broomstick has been getting good reviews. With positive feedback from across the country and what seems like an unlimited supply of plastic materials, Haskia is confident that his unique brooms can make a clean sweep for a more sustainable world. John Su and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Spent firecrackers are littering Taiwan's public spaces. It's a sight often seen following the Lunar New Year as people get back to work. Philip Broussard reports.
The smoke is cleared following this year's Lunar New Year celebrations, but left behind are the remains of burnt-out firecrackers. At this park in Yilan County in Taiwan's northeast, volunteers and sanitation workers have been clearing more than 5 garbage bags a day full of firecrackers, some not yet exploded. But firecrackers are a big part of local customs, as the explosions are thought to scare away evil spirits, stopping them from continuing into the new year. But the problem isn't limited to the Lunar New Year holidays. In December last year, police stopped a temple parade in the southern port city of Kaohsiung after the public complained about the smoke. There are more eco-friendly options like audio recordings or paper-free firecrackers, but at the park in Yilan, some people think the best way to prevent pollution is to stop it at the source. Taiwan can punish people for littering under its waste disposal laws, but that doesn't solve the problem for the people left cleaning up after everyone else has had their fun. Eason Chen and Philip Broussard for TaiwanPlus.
A 3-story dragon lantern has lit up the heart of Taipei, kicking off this year's Lantern Festival. Passers-by in the Ximen shopping district were treated to a trial lighting show before the festival starts on Saturday. This year's Taipei Lantern Festival will feature 123 installations across 3 routes and is expected to attract massive crowds. The festival will run through March 3rd. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, get your daily dose of cute with these penguins in the UK strutting around their enclosure. I'm Rik Glauert, take care and we will see you next time.